So, because I saw several people discussing this under other posts, whether Guts can kill Griffith or not, I think he can kill Griffith, theoretically. He can kill Griffith because, first of all, Griffith has been reborn into the physical plane, which means he has some human traits. I don't know if he's invincible, immortal. I don't know that. He does have some Godhand abilities still. We don't know to which extent. But he has to be a little more human now that he's been reborn through the reverse eclipse ceremony. I think he can kill him based on the fact that he has been reborn, true, but also the Dragon Slayer has killed so many beings from other planes that it can probably kill, even higher beings from higher planes. They're not just the physical and the interstice, but also the plane the Godhand is from. I forgot the name. Probably the vortex. I don't know, nexus. Probably the nexus. The other thing is, I have my notes here, by the way. The other thing is, Griffith is sharing his body with the full moon child. I think that's a plausible theory, in my opinion, because Guts and Casca's child kind of merged with him during the mock eclipse ceremony. So he's sharing his body with the child, and the child reacts to Casca and Guts and to its parents, right? We saw it at my favorite scene that follows the Golden Age arc, which is when they meet again at the Hill of Swords. And Griffith came to see if he can still be moved or if he's, empty. And his heart starts beating as he sees Guts. Now, this could either be Griffith retaining his gayness, or it could be the child reacting to its father and mother, because the mother was in danger. So, during the full moon boy mode, theoretically, if you kill the child, you probably kill Griffith too. I don't know if anyone wants to kill the child, though. Especially if we see Casca and Guts building a cute family-like relationship with the child. I don't know if they want to kill the child. They'd kill Griffith too, but I don't know if they would want to kill the child. It hasn't done anything wrong. And also, during Griffith's transformation, 2 sacrifices were missing. So that's an incomplete transformation, basically. I mean, now if they died, if Casca and Guts died, it wouldn't do anything to Griffith because his transformation is already complete. Like, the ceremony is complete. He has been reborn into Femto and then reborn into this new Griffith. So whether they die or not, it wouldn't affect Griffith, I think. It's just that their souls would finally go to the promised vortex. But anyway, he has 2 sacrifices missing, so I don't know if he's 100% Godhand. If, he didn't receive all the sacrifices, because he had to go through each of the deaths that the Band of the Hawk went through. He had to feel their pain, their whole lives. He had to, and with each death, he lost a part of himself, right? So he had to kill himself, and he had to feel all the deaths of the members of the Band of the Hawk in order to lose his humanity and become Femto. And he also had to receive their blood so he can gain the body of a Godhand member. So he's missing 2. And I think it's gonna play a role. And with that said, Void probably misses one sacrifice too. And I don't know if that's gonna be important. We don't know. Skull Knight hasn't appeared and done anything of significance ever since. I don't even know when. But the next question is, what would be in the way of Guts killing Griffith? So the first thing is, Griffith can still do Godhand member things. He still has those powers. And when he's on a higher plane, not on the physical plane, he assumes the body of Femto again. And he can manipulate the laws of physics and bend space-time. So I don't know. And Casca still felt pain when she was close to Griffith. So I don't know. I don't know about that. And also Griffith has a whole army of apostles that would not allow him to kill Griffith. And third of all, Griffith has a fucking kingdom to lead. He's the Messiah. He's the Jesus of Berserk. The people see him as a symbol of hope and peace, and they need him. And he basically gives them everything they need, and even initiating industrialization. So, yeah. And also baths. Thank God for the baths. Thank God those Middle Ages are over now. People can bathe like civilized people. You know, there's no shit on the alleys. They're probably not washing their things with urine. There is no pests, probably no epidemics. And there's a division of labor. So, to the last question, does it even matter if Guts can kill Griffith? I don't think so. So, people are theorizing what the ending of Berserk could be, and they want to see Guts and Griffith battle it out, of course, because we all grew up with the mood of the Golden Age arc and the Black Swordsman arc. We want something that goes back to the roots, you know, because the story has kind of derailed a little bit and changed moods and genres. So we kind of probably want a feeling of closure by using the same feeling as in the beginning of the story. But Miura has said that he wants to give it a good ending. And I don't know if, you know, returning to revenge and violence would be good. I mean, that's negative. And he wanted to show Guts grow. Guts has mellowed down, so I don't know if he is even interested in doing that route again. I don't know if he wants to kill Griffith anymore. And as for what a good ending would be, I don't know. I don't fucking know. The story has changed so much. I can't even see Griffith dying. I can't see Guts dying. I can't see a battle because it would lead to something bad happening to the in the story, in the whole universe of Berserk, and I don't know if that would be a good ending. I don't know what the fuck a good ending would be. Would a good ending be to let Guts and Casca live a happy family life, abandoning their, you know, bad memories, trying to build a new life with happiness? Would that be a good ending? While, you know, Griffith does his thing, he achieves his dream, everyone's happy on their side. Would that be a good ending? To me, no. Definitely not. Why the fuck was I reading this shit? I think Berserk should end on a good note. To be a good piece of fiction. Definitely should. But Miura said he wants to give it a good ending, so whatever happens, it's gonna turn out of poor quality, probably, story-wise. Because I seriously cannot imagine a good ending and a good story when it comes to Berserk. Because I want closure by, Guts and Griffith confronting the past and building something out of it, out of all the struggle. Because the story is centered around them and their dynamics. Having them, their separate happinesses would be beside the point. But anyway, so I think, yes, theoretically, Guts can kill Griffith. Practically, no. And I don't think it's gonna happen. So it doesn't even matter. Guts cannot kill Griffith. He's way too powerful and has too many allies. Anything Guts does will look like an ass pull. It would take years in development to get them to equal ground that under a normal manga release schedule, Miura would have to born to do all that, or have an epiphany and start writing non-stop. That makes Berserk better. Wife. Yeah, I think whatever not Griffith, Miura does at this point is gonna be an asshole. But I think he was trying to get there to have Guts match Griffith in power by using the whole witch thing, which he introduced out of fucking nowhere. And one of those planes, I think the same plane as the Godhand plane, has the 4 elemental kings in them too. I don't know where they have been until now. They were also introduced just suddenly. So we have 4 elemental kings, which the witches kind of derive their power from. And apparently Flora was a powerful threat enough for Griffith to send someone to kill her, which seems too ridiculous. But yeah, so now if he manages to make Guts equal in power to Griffith, you all know it's thanks to children and their magic. The power of magic. Wind, fire, earth, water, dreams, I hate this. You have the cool, gritty, and original idea of the fucking Godhand. Then you have witches. And it's a fucking tiny witch. It's just a child. I don't know. It's also stupid. Okay. What about the Behelit Guts has? Who is gonna use it? I don't know. It doesn't even make a difference. So a new apostle is gonna be born. So what? Not gonna make any fucking difference. Maybe Skull Knight will eat it. I don't know. Maybe Miura. Maybe he expands upon the mechanics of the Behelit. That would be interesting. Maybe because, I don't know, maybe because they feed Betchy, he's gonna turn into a fucking new type of Behelit and do some freaky shit that we haven't seen before. Would be cool if Miura would expand on his original idea a little bit more. Go back to what he has invented and mastered. He could have done so much with his own idea instead of borrowing elements from other fantasy stories. That's a lazy ass pull. Let's get real deep here, Elda. Do you find any sense in me if I say there's a certain amount of beauty in how the original Hawks died? Well, yes. Yes. It's the most heartbreaking and symbolic thing ever. I love it. I love it. It broke my heart. I'm trying to keep the edge to a minimum, but I actually find myself thinking about this more than I should. It's not, oh my god, you wrote a lot. It's not the way they died. Obviously, it was terrifying and agonizing for the young man, but it's the situation they find themselves in that I find beautiful despite all the visual horror. Dying next to your brothers in arms with no hope, but all perished together as one. Some ran, like Dorcas, but many stood against the apostles out of terror and out of courage. I love to die in such a way, together with your loved ones. Enjoy the essay. You know me. I still believe that when you die alone. Like, you're born alone, you die alone. You may be in the same fucking situation as the rest of your brothers, but in the end, it doesn't matter whether you die alone or with your brothers, because it was an unfair and cruel death. And sure, you could also say the same thing for the hawks that died in battle during, I don't know, sieges. Like in the case of Doldry, a lot of them died. They also died together. What makes that more beautiful than the rest? I think what you think is that it's beautiful how they died for nothing, but still together trying to make sense of what is happening. I think it's beautiful because it's so cruel. Because dying in battle, yeah, that's cruel, but we know that already. You know, they signed up for that. You know that when you're a soldier or a mercenary, you're gonna die on the battlefield. It's an honor to die on the battlefield. But I don't know how much honor is involved in dying for nothing. Well, not for nothing, because obviously Griffith gained something out of it, but they got actually sacrificed without their consent. Is Skull Knight a sacrifice too? Well, I think so. I think he was Supreme Emperor Geyserik, and Void was that dude who sacrificed the whole fucking empire. I don't know if it was the whole empire. That would be too large. It must have been big enough to make the whole empire collapse. So yeah, Void sacrificed Geyserik and the rest, and Geyserik somehow escaped. We don't know. I don't know why. You know what's pissing me off? I thought after the eclipse, the story is gonna move on by exploring the past and the future together at the same time. You know, the past represented with Skull Knight and Void. Like, you know, the story of Guts and Griffith is a story within a bigger story, and I thought we're gonna explore the background and while we still move forward with the story, and it's gonna be drawing parallels or growing, you know, make the original background story grow with Guts and Griffith's story. But we didn't get that. We still don't know shit about the Godhand. We still don't know shit about Skull Knight. He just pops up whenever he's needed. Just conveniently comes and goes however he wants. And that's it. I don't even know why the fucking last chapter was scratched from the volumes, because, I mean, Muda said it gives away too much too soon, but we haven't touched upon the subject ever since the fucking eclipse, so why remove it? And why didn't you plan that ahead, you fucking moron? You're a writer. Think about what the fuck you're writing and what you're gonna publish. But okay. Reincarnation. What? Dying alone would be the worst. I'll pass on that gay shit. Experiencing the pain and the fear together is forced compassion. Well, yeah. Elda, you are not the only one who lost passion for Berserk. Yes, I know. Miura lost it before you. Ooh, bird. before you. What we are getting now is something Muta does to pay his bills. I think so too. It's probably just something he's forced to continue. Well, he actually wants to do other stuff. That's why he took a break to write Gigantomachia. Instead of finishing one fucking project and moving on to the next project, he's, doing several works at once. I think we now just want to see Casca and Guts together. You maybe. I want to see what I came for in the first place. I came for a fucking agony. No, not for agony, of course. What I loved about Berserk was how much shit can happen to one person. And how a person can still endure this and grow, become stronger, and be like, oh, life's gonna fuck me, I'm gonna try to fuck it back. And this person at first getting scared of people because of experiences, and then trying to grow closer to people, and then boom, getting this hope smashed too, getting betrayed again, and basically regressing and going the wrong path, and then you're hoping that this man just fucking gets what he deserves and grows as a human being, grows out of the negativity, but also I don't know, but also makes the people he's with happier. Like, he abandoned Casca to pursue his revenge, but it would be nice to have a confrontation and then build happiness with Casca. Instead, he's building happiness with Casca now, and so now the confrontation can't happen because it would destroy that happiness he's trying to build with Casca now. I don't know. To me, it's not a good road, but okay. To be fair, they died for Griffith's dream. Well, they wanted to pursue their own dreams, actually. Everyone was drawn to Griffith initially because they saw a leader in him, someone who could promise them chances for a new life. That's why they followed him. And instead, he just killed them to make his own life better, which is understandable from Griffith's perspective. He was grasping at straws. He didn't have any other option in his mind. But for the Band of the Hawk, that's not what they signed up for. They didn't sign up to be sacrifices for someone else. When you pursue a dream, you are the one who sacrifices something. It's not that the others have to sacrifice themselves for you. Others are not your sacrifice, you yourself are your sacrifice. Why you look like to drop the hottest mixtape of 2018? I'll take that as a compliment. I don't know, at this point, maybe down the road Guts would realize he can't stand against Griffith and just decides to settle with Casca, or maybe Muta would pull something out of his ass. I think it's the latter. I want to see the previous Godhand members before Void and all the others. Yes, same. Unless they're the first, which I doubt. What? This whole thing must have been going on for millennia. Well, yeah, we do know that Void wasn't the first ever Godhand member. We know that. We know that 4 angels came down, so there must have been Godhand members before that. And as I said in one of the comment sections on one of the posts here in the group, it's basically like this: because humans exist, they want some stability and someone to blame for their bad things, so they want something to make them feel good and not alone, but also something that they can blame for when something bad happens. That is the idea of evil. And because the idea of evil exists, and the idea of evil, channeling causality, basically, or creating the pool of causality, then he has the Godhand, who basically, pulls the strings behind the scenes, does a little bit here, a little bit there. They know the past, they know the future to some extent, of course. They don't know everything. Things change. But they basically play with this causality thing. And because they exist, a vortex has to exist. They can sacrifice. They can put their sacrifices to, so they can, ascend. And that's where apostles come from too. So the idea of evil has existed ever since humans have existed, and that's why Godhand members must have been there ever since humans existed. What I would have wanted is go back to the eclipse, right? What happened after the eclipse is also okay. The Black Swordsman arc. You have the revenge, and then you have Guts trying to go back to Casca, because also leave out the fucking Lost Children arc. That was pointless. You just wanted to show, children doing bad things to add more shock to the manga. Well, cool. I guess the world is cruel and ugly. Wow, didn't know that. But anyway, so you have the eclipse happening, the Black Swordsman arc happening, then Guts going back to find Casca. Casca being fucking gone because Erika left her out of sight. Then Guts going to find Casca, then the bad thing at the conviction arc happening. Bad thing. Griffith is reborn. Finally, we have him back. The dude the story is actually about. Berserk is basically like, the Sherlock Holmes series. It's told from Watson's perspective, but Sherlock is the main fucking character, and that's basically what Berserk is. Griffith is the main character. He's the one who's trying to become the king. It's his story of becoming. And Guts is the side character telling it. He's just one out of many fucking people on this earth. Not this earth, but, this fantastical earth there. He's just one out of many, and still he's so special. Yeah, he's our protagonist. And then the bad thing happening, the rebirth happening, and no witches. No witches. If you have witches, they're not fucking elemental manipulating plane witches. I don't know. Not any lolies. We don't need them. We don't need the mermaids. We don't need the sea god. We don't need the unicorns, the dragons. We don't need those things. You can do enough with the Behelit, okay? Have more, maybe different kinds of beings happen due to different kinds of effects of Behelits. As I said, maybe if you fucking feed the Behelits, like treat them like living beings, maybe something else would come out of it. Maybe they would, I don't know, throw up I don't know, something else. I don't know, but the ending could be made with those gritty and still realistic elements that Berserk used to have, and the original idea that Miura had. And it could still be, a very dark story, but with an actually positive ending happening. But like this now, it feels like, the kindergarten. I don't know, they're in a very fairy tale-like place even. Everything is good. You even have, sidekicks and comic reliefs. Even Casca was reduced to comic relief. comedic relief. Sorry, it's become so stupid. So basically, my ending, I don't know. I don't even want to think of an ending for Berserk because it's not my job. It's Miura's job. I wanted someone to tell me a fucking marvelous story. And for me to go, oh, well, I would do this instead. I would have several headcanons, probably. I mean, I wrote this one fan fiction, like, short story where I made witches the product of Godhand members that have been reborn into the physical plane. Because obviously, if you can only have 5 at a time, one has to leave in the course of 216 years so a new one can come. Or maybe 2 leave at the same time, I don't fucking know. But anyway, they leave and then a new one comes. So what happens to those that leave? And I made this short story where this one Godhand member, I don't know, probably got fucking tired of living, just went to a matriarchal village and he made a pact with them. He told them he could give them godlike powers if they consumed him. So they fucking ate him, and now the women that ate this Godhand member have the means to use Godhand like derive powers from God, the Godhand plane, but they're mortal. Obviously, because we saw Flora, she was super fucking old. They're mortal and they age, and the guys are the immortal ones. So basically, the Godhand member power split up the immortality to the boys and the manipulating of planes to the girls. So that's how witches were born. I don't know. He could have done so much and played with this Godhand apostles Behelit playing thing with those mechanics. He could have done so much and introduced an original type of ending that's still good, but still, in the same feeling and mood Berserk used to be and have. It's hard to tell if things are being foreshadowed in Berserk or if the story is that well planned. Well planned? Are you fucking kidding me? Given that Miura admitted that most of the story was written as it came, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not well planned at all. He's not the type to think of a grand scheme prior to write it. Everything fitted well because of luck. He's a good writer, but not a great planner. So that's why things like the hints of previous Godhand has to be taken with a grain of salt. Well, the Golden Age arc could happen only because, Miura. I think the Golden Age arc turned out so well because Miura had an ending to work towards, right? Because he started in the present with the Black Swordsman arc, and now he had to construct a past that leads to this present. And so he had already a finished goal in sight, and that's why this story went so well. He hadn't planned Casca, of course. She just came as he wrote the character, and he decided he liked her. He wanted to keep her, and that's how he constructed a very tragic ending. Not ending, but ending for Casca during the eclipse. It's luck. It's because he was constructing a story, and now that he doesn't have an ending in sight, he doesn't know what the fuck he can do. And just, dragging it out over the years, I think he lost all of the plans he could have had he just, been a little quicker. How much for the microwave? How much for the lovely microwave, though? How much for the microwave in the back, though? Okay. Can we just keep Griffith in the vortex? I don't think... we don't know what happens to Godhand members. Do they go to the vortex after they die? I don't know. I have no idea. But he's in the Nexus playing. Is Griffith incomplete? He needs to consume Casca and Guts. He needed to consume Casca and Guts to be complete. He's not a complete, 100% complete Godhand member. But if Casca and Guts die now, it wouldn't affect him. The transformation was already, done, completed. So their deaths wouldn't affect him anymore. To be fair, we shall never know, because it ain't ending. Yeah. Poor Elda is shattered inside. A serious discussion about long-abandoned fictional work. Wow, how edgy is that? Yeah. A way to defeat Griffith would be make Berserk's world mindset change to our current world's mindset and make Griffith tell a sexist joke. Who the fuck are you? You're cute. Why, thank you. Hola. Yes. Ending would be like Guts would see Behelit as his last choice and see Casca but won't use Behelit and die because he can't sacrifice Casca. I don't think Casca or Guts can use the fucking Behelit. They're sacrifices. They can't turn into apostles that need sacrifices to transform into apostles. I don't think that would work. I feel like there could be something much bigger than them all, considering they're referred to as the hand of God. So maybe there is something more powerful pulling all the strings. Well, again, that's the idea of evil. The Last Children arc was beautiful. Leave it alone. I personally pick Judo. Go to die in peace, even if with regret. At least he wasn't getting molested any further by apostles. Crocus was fine too. Would love to lose my shit, and I like movies because Amanda is so mad. Worst stuff was probably either Guts or Gusto. I love your microwave. Wow, thank you for the microwave comments. Unicorns though. The sea god was cool though. What is that thing on your head? I don't know him. Muta's life is gonna end before Berserk's ending. This is something I theorized too. Muta has said that he was greatly inspired by the Guin saga. And the Guin saga is basically a fantasy novel series, the longest running fantasy novel series, either in Japan or ever. And the thing is, the original author who started with Guin saga died. And he just other authors picked it up and then died or abandoned the work and so on and so forth. And so maybe if he abandoned Berserk or died before Berserk's ending, someone else would pick it up and let Berserk go the Guin saga way. So let it be a kind of a work that gets passed down. So our generation may never even experience the end. You gotta be lucky to be born in a later generation to experience the end. Maybe. So stupid. Fuck whoever came up with that idea. Muta's life is gonna end before Berserk's ending. Okay, sorry, I read that. You better write Berserk, Elda. Muta is playing his idol master. Muta dies. A fanboy continues the manga. Oh. Fanboy makes Muta a character in the manga. Muta kills Griffith, high fives Guts. Then you end. He could have done a lot with the mermaids or just take them out of the picture. We don't need the fucking mermaids. We don't even need Farnese and Serpico, to be honest. They had great potential then. They brought back the dark things in Berserk. But then they were kind of the characters and their characters' potential got discarded very quickly. Isn't there a YouTube video about this? I don't know. He can, but can Griffith foresee this? Like the Skull Knights attack? Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you can foresee this. Okay, so that live stream was longer than I had expected. It was interesting, and your comments were interesting. Not all of them, but most of them. Okay, so I don't know. Is there something else I could talk about? It's already too long. Oh no. If someone else writes Berserk, we may end with what's happening with Star Wars now. Exactly. Being obliterated after all that waiting time. Yes. Like Vagabond Manga, the creator took him to abandon it. Don't blame him. He wants new projects. I don't blame him. he at least admitted it. He said, well, this is not fulfilling to me anymore, but I'm gonna make this art exhibition where you can kind of, infer the ending. And also it's based on a real historic character, so you kind of already know the ending. You can't really compare it to Berserk. You can't read up on a historical figure to find out how the fuck Berserk could end. You just like the visualization and interpretation of an artist of this historical figure's story, and then bring it to life in his own ways. That is, I think, the beauty of Vagabond. Never read it though. I have the manga, but I can't read. With Berserk, it's something original. You can't read up on it anywhere when you want to know the ending. Evil Dead was the inspiration for Berserk, even though Miura... Wait, come back. Oh, it doesn't say so. Oh man. Show us the apostle form. I can't. I just realized something. Maybe Corcus Dorcas was having such shitty luck with the ladies because he didn't use the same nut armor as Guts didn't, and maybe riding that horse all day long caused him to be impotent. Truly a fascinating subject, if you ask me. Your headcanons kind of weird me out, but you do you. Yeah, I love Musashi. I wonder if Miura has a clue. You mean if Miura has a clue on how to end the story? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Okay, well, that was long, but fine. Excuse the first 2 minutes where my neighbor comes and knocks, and I actually answer the door. So, yeah, it was a nice discussion. Nice to roll up a few topics. So, yeah, I think he can, with his abilities, Guts can kill Griffith with the practical means, with the whole Apostle army, with Falconia wanting a hero, a savior. No. And with Griffith still having some Godhand member powers. No. So Miura could pull something there. Like, the answer is still maybe he can kill Griffith. Is he gonna do it? Probably not. I don't think it matters if it can even kill Griffith or not. I don't think it matters. Because the story has changed so much. The tone has changed so much. The story, the mood, the whole fucking path has changed too much. So yeah, doesn't matter. We're asking the wrong questions when it comes to Berserk. So, anyway, in conclusion, Berserk's potential was wasted by an incompetent writer. Have a nice evening. It was nice talking to you guys.